we're going to be talking about best describer. All right, so when I talk about number 5, 5 said Mia's workouts lasted, so we have workouts. They are 1.0 hours, 1.5, 2.25, 1.5, 2.4, and 2.1 hours. We want to find the mean, median, and mode. All right, so first of all, I'm going to start with my mean, and I'm going to add these all up individually. So I have 1, keep doing that, 1 plus 1.5. I'm going to put these in order of least to greatest, plus 1.5, plus 2.25, plus, oopsie, let's do 2.1, and then 2.25, plus 2.4. So I'm putting them in order of least to greatest to make sure I can use them for my median as well. So I have 1, 1.5, 1.5, 2.1, 2.5, 2.4. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So if I add all these together, all right, I'm going to do it real quick. I have 1 plus 1.5 plus 1.5 plus 2.1 plus 2.25 plus 2.4. And I end up with 10.75. How many of you guys got 10.75? Yes? Okay. Divided by 6. You're looking to see if you have all of these steps, by the way. So you're looking at your work. All right, you probably showed your addition somewhere off to the side. We bring it back to 10.75 divided by 6. That's my sum. Now off to the side here, you guys did 10.75 divided by 6. Put that decimal up there. 6 divides into 10 once. That's 6, so that's a 4. Bring that 7 down. It divides into 47 7 times, so that's 42. 55, if I did that right. All right, divides into 55. Well, 6 times 8 is 48. 6 times 9 is 56. This is going to be 8 times. The directions were round to the nearest tenth. So that's as far as I need to go, which means I'm going to round this to 1.8 hours. Because I need to round to the nearest tenth, which means I have to take it to the hundredths. All right, my median, I'm going to cross off the first and the last, the first and the last. I get my center 2 numbers. So it's 1.5 plus 2.1 because I have an even number of numbers. So there's 2 in the middle. I divide that by 2. And I end up with 3.6 divided by 2. So my mean is 1.8. So all of you are looking at your work to make sure you have the right work for this. And my mode, well, there's only one value that repeats, and it's 1.5. Yes? You don't have to do game plans for mean equations. You're just setting up the mean equation. All right, put this away, get your notes out. Okay. Please stop talking. All right, so today is the 20th. We are still in chapter 3.3. So 3.3 continued. We're going to be talking about best describer. We're going to be talking about best describer. All right. What I mean by that is, what we want to do is we want to decide if mean, median, or mode best describes a list of data. So we want to decide, that should be if. We want to decide if mean, median, or mode best describes a list of data. That's what I want you guys to understand. Okay, so I'm going to give you an example of what I'm talking about so you can wrap your head around what the heck I'm saying. So let's talk about an example here. So let's talk about our class age. How many of you guys are 12 in here? So raise your hands really high. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So I have 12-year-olds, and there are 13 of them. How about 13-year-olds? How many of you guys are 13 in here? I have 5. All right, so if I listed this out, I would say 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 12, 12, 12, and I'm going to do dot, dot, dot here. Because I have 5 13-year-olds, and I have 13 12-year-olds. So, if I was to say to you, how could you best describe the age of students in this class? What would you say? One statement about the overall statement about the age of students in this class. What might you say? Jack? And not that there are 13 12-year-olds and 5 13-year-olds. I don't want to say that. Just what can you say? Knowing the numbers of 12-year-olds and 13-year-olds, what could you say about the age of students in this class? How many of you guys agreed they're mostly 12? Yeah, why? Why? Why can you say that? Absolutely, right? What would 12 be considered here in this list? The mode. All right, so here are 12 because there are 13 of them. That would be our mode. All right, so what we can say is that the mode of 12 years old best describes the group because the majority of students are 12 years old. Can you see how that we could describe the age in here with just that statement? How many of you guys would agree with Jack that that's what you could say? All right, the vast majority of students in here are 12 years old. All right, that's not to say, he didn't say all the students are 12 years old. He said the vast majority of them, which makes you think there are some that aren't 12, but almost all of them are. Wouldn't you say that's a fair statement of your understanding of what that means? Okay, so that's where we need to make some decision making. All right, so what I want to do is, you're going to be deciding which of the 3 are your best describers, and I'm going to give you when they are. Okay, I'm going to give you the rules. All right, so let's say the rules of best describer. All right, and these are the options in order of what I want you to follow. All right. So option 1 is mode. All right, so mode is best describer when. I'm going to put a colon here. When the data is numbers or not numbers. So I could say favorite movies, right? If all of you had almost the same favorite movie, then that's what I would say. The vast majority of you, your favorite animated movie was Frozen. Like I could say that in this class if that's the case, because the vast majority of you chose Frozen, all right? So the data is numbers or not numbers, so you could do either. There is a mode. If there's no mode, obviously mode can't be the best describer. But here's the thing. The mode is the vast majority, and and I'm going to tell you from a percentage standpoint, vast majority, that's 50% or more of the data. So mode is best describer when mode is the vast majority of the data, which means more than 50% of the data. In the one that we did, 13 of them were 12-year-olds, 5 were 13-year-olds. That's clearly more than half of them, okay? All right. Now, here's this thing. If mode is not best describer, which means it doesn't meet these qualifications, then your next option, option 2, is going to be mean. So option 2 is going to be mean. So mean, best describer when, first of all, mode isn't. All right? When there is no outlier, because your outlier is going to throw your mean off. So if mode is not the best describer and there is no outlier, mean is your best describer. All right? So then, at this point, option 3 is median. This is best describer when mode isn't and mean isn't. So when mode isn't and mean isn't, because there is an outlier. That is when median is. So these are your rules. All right, so I'm going to give you a list of data. You're going to tell me, I'm not asking you to find the mean. I'm not asking you to find the median. They may ask you to do that. All right, I just want you from this list to tell me what you think is your best describer. Who needs to see what's up there? So mean is your best describer when mode is not, and there is no outlier. So both of those have to be the case. Median is your best describer when mode isn't and mean isn't, because there is an outlier. All right, so let me give you some data. So let's say I have this list. So I have 2, 2, 5, 3, 6, 7, 2, 20. Okay, so your first decision is mode. Is your mode your best describer? First of all, is there a mode? Is there a mode? Maya, what's the mode? Mode is 2. Is 2 your best describer, Maya? Why? Why is mode the best? Why do you think mode is your best describer? There are 3 of your modes, right? Well, how many data items are there? So we have 8 data items. There are 3 2's. Is that the vast majority? Is that 50% of the data? All right, so 2 is not 50% of the data. So, mode, not best describer. All right, so now I'm going to move on to mean. So mode is not best describer. Is there an outlier? Is there an outlier here? Jacob? Yeah, this is our outlier. So 20 is an outlier. So can mean be my best describer? Morgan? No, we have an outlier. So, mean, not best describer. So what does that mean our best describer has to be, Lawrence? Median. Median, best describer. So if I give you, when you read this, and I say to you, what is the best describer? You have to tell me median is, and you have to tell me why. Because mode is not the vast majority, and there is an outlier. So you need to state these two things to prove that median is your best describer. If there was no outlier, you simply would say median is your best describer because mode isn't, and there is no outlier. So you have to state those things. Are you guys cool? Okay. Yes.